Alrighty, hey, welcome to Cooking with Ed and Red. I would be the Ed part. Oh wait, I should mention that we have a sign. Look, it's not handmade this week. Look at that. Look at that. Now, it was printed, unfortunately, on paper that was too long. But you can't have everything.
Why didn't you just fold it?
There you go. It's a nice little logo. There we go. Hello, Dave Mack.
Fold the paper.
Everybody, make sure you share. And look who's here. It's Red. All right. So tonight we're making, as promised, tonight we're making a He-Man cake, which is kind of funny because He-Man was kind of beefcake. And tonight we're making a, what kind of, red velvet cake?
It's a red velvet cake, yeah. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. I don't know why we did this. I wish we had split it up, but you've been promising this for weeks now, so we better deliver because people keep asking me about it. So I made a finished one.
Whoa!
Because with the way you rush me...
First, show the pan.
What?
Show the pan.
Okay, so this is one of the old Wilton character pans.
Okay, there it is. That's what it begins life like.
Yeah,
like that.
You can see there's like details and all that stuff in here. And I'm going to show you the way to actually make the cake so the details show out instead of it becoming a big
Okay, so it goes from that, ladies and gentlemen, to this.
Okay.
Look at that.
What? You told me to get my He-Man toys and now you're not showing
light on.
Why are you doing that?
All right, there we go. And yes, He-Man toys. Here they are.
Yeah. Can I move them now? Because I really don't want to get icing sugar on Panther.
So that's Panther.
And Skeletor, the best. And then Battle Armor He-Man.
Now, what color is Battle Cat?
Battle Cat's green.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
I think I have Battle Cat down here.
All right.
Not all my He-Man toys are on display.
No.
It's messy down there. I'm not going to go down there.
All right, so here we go. There they are. He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah.
And He-Man Battle Armor He-Man, where you hit the thing in the chest and it spins.
Yeah, yes.
Here, you want to hear a show?
See?
Punch.
Hold on.
It doesn't hold is the weird thing.
Well, no, it sometimes holds. It's old. So, I think I'm doing it wrong. It was there, and then
you punch,
and then you punch it. This was the coolest thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was before video games.
No, it was between video games.
All right.
The heyday of He-Man was after the Atari crash, and He-Man kind of tanked when Nintendo became popular.
All right. So we're going to make tonight a He-Man cake, and on the chat, I want to ask you, what were the best, in your opinion, the best and worst He-Man toys? I know my favorite.
Toys or characters?
Toys, characters.
Okay.
Shane Cohen used to have a She-Ra.
Don't like She-Ra.
You don't like She-Ra?
Don't like She-Ra.
Yeah, Liana will tell us all about She-Ra later. She doesn't like her. I'm not going to tell you right now what my favorite is.
No?
Okay, we will get to my favorite He-Man character, and the one I think is the worst.
Is it Stinkor? It's Stinkor. You like Stinkor? If I'd known, I would have brought out the Stinkor. I like Stinkor. Hi, Momo.
I'm trying to build suspense, and you just blow it like that?
Well, you're lucky because I was going to ask if it was red.
Really? Really? You had to go there? Here I am trying to build suspense at the end of the show, and I'll tell you who my favorite character is.
And
then there she just blurts it out?
I didn't know.
God, what are you, like Donald Trump's defense team?
No.
All right. Okay. So, Stinkor is my favorite because I don't know what they made him smell like originally, but when I bought Stinkor, he smelled like baby powder. Yeah. So he didn't really stink. He sort of smelled real nice. Stinkor was my favorite. The idea of a supervillain whose powers were that he stunk. My God, if you've ever ridden the Dundas bus through Chinatown in late July, oh, believe me, you understand how bad smells can really be a superpower. And here's Momo. Because the health department always likes the idea of having animals where you prepare food.
What? He's not on the counter. He's not touching anything. Hey, baby. Yeah, here. You go over here to your food.
And Shane is mentioning that you and Momo match today.
We kind of do.
With the black and white. All right, first steps in making the He-Man cake.
First step is I'm going to move this away for now that we have the finished product. I'm just going to put it aside because I don't want it to get wrecked.
All right, and here's the beginnings of our supplies of what we're going to need tonight.
Have a look at that one.
Nikita lives near Chinatown. He knows the smell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh.
These things are really handy to keep your cake and also to keep cat hair off it.
That will never be a incense flavor. Chinatown in July.
Oh, I don't know about
Never be an incense flavor.
Wouldn't that be kind of funny to do a series of novelty incense flavors that smell bad?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes. Okay, so Beth is very happy that Momo was there. All right, so we're going to make a He-Man cake tonight.
Yeah.
And Liana is ready to take us through the process.
I'm moving my toys now so they don't get flour and icing sugar on them. These are collectors.
Okay, so let's all right, here comes Swegman. Hey Ed, what do you call a pig's karate movie? Pork chop. You can do better. All right. Okay, Liana, we're cooking. What are we doing?
All right. First thing, Loki, what do you have on your nose?
Could you come back here? We're doing a show.
Sorry, my dog hit something on his nose. I wanted to make sure it was no big deal.
All right, so what are we doing? First step.
All right, so first step is I have to come over here. And so, see, there's Loki. See, he has a thing on his nose. Look, what does he have on his nose? He's going to hide now. Okay, so first thing is I need a medium bowl and a large bowl. Oh, this is still wet.
Hey, you know what you could do with that medium bowl?
What?
Is you could put it on Prince Adam's head to give him his haircut.
Yes, you could. You could. Do you want the ingredients?
Okay, ingredients list. Here we go. Okay, so 1 cup buttermilk or 1 cup unsweetened soy milk and tablespoon white vinegar, 2 cups all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon or teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 cups sugar, 1 cup canola, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon red food coloring, 1 teaspoon white vinegar, and 1/2 cup prepared hot coffee.
Yeah, more complicated.
Wait, why is the coffee necessary?
That's what gives the red velvet an extra kick.
I thought that was just for you.
No, otherwise you just have chocolate cake.
Speaking of coffee, you guys, we need a word for that period when you've had an energy drink and it did lift you up. It did, keep you through a period where you were sagging. But then all of a sudden you start getting these jitters.
Yeah.
Like we need a term for the hangover of the residue of an energy drink. All right, well, you guys work on that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our buttermilk substitute first. I'm going to do the non-dairy version.
Okay.
Tonight.
By the way, Swegman said yesterday a clown held the door open for him. It was such a nice gesture.
Oh, okay. I get it.
All right.
So, you don't want too much extra liquid ending up in your mixture, and it calls for a cup of buttermilk. So the way to substitute buttermilk without dairy is I use unsweetened soy milk, so I'm not adding extra sugar and throwing off the taste of the cake. And you put a tablespoon of white vinegar into a 1 cup measurement.
You put soy milk in with vinegar?
Yeah, you want to curdle it.
Isn't that disgusting?
No, it actually works.
You know another way to curdle a soy milk?
What?
Put it on the bus through Chinatown in July.
You don't want to do that.
All right.
Okay. So now we're just going to give it a little jiggle there and set it aside. And that'll thicken up, and that'll be your buttermilk. It works really well.
All right, buttermilk substitute.
Yeah, buttermilk substitute. So
all right.
I was skeptical at first too, but it works really well.
All right, here we go.
Sit.
And Shane wants to know if you're going to celebrate Star Wars Day tomorrow.
Oh, God. No.
All right. Shane Atwell says he dressed as Skeletor for Halloween when he was a kid.
That's cool.
I like how he specifies when he was a kid. Like, it's like be so bad if he dressed as Skeletor now. Skeletor, by the way, was the only smart person in that whole entire cartoon. I know how Skeletor feels, always being surrounded by idiots. Everywhere surrounded by idiots.
Skeletor actually wasn't that smart. He always lost.
Skeletor was the ultimate, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Okay, what's next?
Curse you, He-Man. Now, Ed, I need space. Oh my God. Okay. 2 cups
Gotta get
of
in there.
flour. Yeah, but I can't. You're cutting me off from my bowl.
There's probably a joke there somewhere. Go on.
Okay, so 2 cups of flour. There we go. Sorry, I printed this out because you wanted to see it, and then. All right, there we go. And then we're putting the dry ingredients in a bowl.
Dry ingredients in a bowl.
Yeah. So, baking powder now. I always like this brand because it came with little submarines. When I was a kid, and you put them in water and they went. So I always like.
It came with toy submarines for children.
And you put baking soda in them, and they powered submarines. So.
All right. So while she's doing that, let's get the chat going. What were your favorite? What were your favorite and least favorite He-Man toys?
Binky's looking for his food.
Okay. And
Binky usually leaves. You're gonna knock the bowl over, Ed.
Well, something exciting will happen then.
Camera thing. I am so not doing this. Wait a second. I have to feed my cat.
You can't take time out from a cooking show to feed your cat.
My cat is old and he needs to eat a lot and he has cancer and he's doing well. So I'm gonna feed my cat. Shut up.
All right, and in this intervening time, shall we discuss the elephant in the room, which is Fisto?
Fisto? I tried to mention that earlier, and you kept talking over me. Fisto.
Yeah, Fisto.
Man,
Fisto especially. I don't think he was designed with the sexual practice in mind. Certainly the size of that fist would indicate
have you seen,
you wouldn't be walking after that.
Have you seen the guys who made He-Man?
Yeah, they were very straight and hetero. I don't imagine that they would be into... Because Fisto... It sounds like a type of porn, because it is.
They also seem like,
you know what I mean?
Guys who would see what they could sneak past somebody.
Fisto?
Yeah.
All right.
So, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder.
Shannon Rowley thought Frank Langella playing Skeletor was one of his most favorite characters ever. That was a terrible movie, though. All right, so now we got a cat eating.
Yeah, Binky's butt.
Yeah, there you go, right by where you're cooking. That's good. I don't think you're going to get the green sign from the health department.
What?
Okay, so here we go, some salt.
Yeah.
Okay, putting that into your dry ingredients.
Yeah, and now we mix it up.
Swagman says that becoming a vegetarian is a big mistake. Sean Atwell's had a lot of He-Man toys, but it's hard to pick a Sean, you're gonna have to pick a favorite. If you were a kid and you had to leave your house in a hurry, which of the He-Man toys would you grab? Which one?
There were some really cool He-Man toys, but they weren't necessarily cool characters.
What were your favorites?
Main characters, like favorite character.
Favorite character.
Well, I don't know. Skeletor was cool. Beastman was cool. Sorceress was pretty cool. Tila was cool. Evelyn was cool. But, like, they weren't the coolest toys, right?
Okay, well...
Guys like Modulok and Too Bad, those were cool toys.
You gotta figure these guys were smoking the crack when they came up with some of these characters.
Maybe they were just toy designers.
Modulok, Too Bad. Too Bad was the one with 2 heads, right?
Yeah, where he had he did this. He had, like, a battle action. And Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor were very cool toys.
Well, because it wasn't really that exciting. I mean, they just flipped the little chest panel over, but it was a great way to get you to buy another Skeletor and another He-Man.
Yeah, no, but you know what? It wasn't like that back then because they all had to do.
It was like that.
Things like what was it, Cyclone Action He-Man and stuff like that. That's when it got a little bit dumb. But Battle Armor He-Man, Battle Armor Skeletor, pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought School Teacher Skeletor was a bit of a stretch.
Huh?
Yeah, they were trying to do brand extension. Do you remember when He-Man, it went out of, like, they stopped the line for a while, then they started it up again with He-Man as some space character? And I remember that there was always this one toy in the store, with the new He-Man collection. It was like a guy whose head was an eye, like one giant eye. That was the only one. You could never find the actual He-Man. It was always this one where the guy had this big eye as his head.
Mantenna and Many-Faces were also cool toys, but Many-Faces not a cool character, see?
Why? What's the difference between Many-Faces the toy and Many-Faces the character?
Well, Many-Faces the toy was cool because the head swiveled around, but it didn't really have much of a character, you know?
No, the worst He-Man toy, Faker.
Faker?
Faker was the worst.
See, but Faker was a cool episode.
See, Faker was ridiculous. It's, hey, how about we make a He-Man duplicate in blue plastic, and we'll call it Faker, because he's going to impersonate He-Man, because nobody will notice that his skin is all of a sudden blue.
Scareglow was also a pretty cool toy. I don't think he was ever even in the show.
Faker was the worst. It was so stupid. Such an obvious money ploy. Did you buy Faker?
I do have a Faker, yes.
So you got suckered into that?
No, Faker was a funny episode.
Faker was just them trying to make more money off the same molds.
Yeah, he's sort of emblematic, but that was the whole line. I mean, there were only 4 chests in the whole line. Ed, you are going to knock over my bowl with your camera thing.
James Rossiter says none of them were as bad as 2002 revival Disco Rave Skeletor.
Oh, God. Some of those relaunch variants were awful. I was all, like, hopeful about that relaunch, but it was objectively not good.
Mark NSD Stuck. I don't think that's his real name. He hopes my night is going well. So far, not too bad. We're here making a He-Man cake. Did anybody out there have their mothers, like, make them cake? Mothers or fathers, whoever your caregiver was? You know, whatever, if you were raised by wolves. Did anybody out there have one of these character cakes for their birthday?
See, I know how to do this because I hit a certain age. I think it was like 13 or 14, and my mother was like, if you want a cake, make it yourself. But enough about my childhood.
But enough about your traumatic childhood. All right, here we go. Oh, good. Look, action. There we go. This is exciting. Look.
Things have been going on, Ed. You've just not been paying attention.
So here's where you're mixing it up.
Sugar.
Mixing it up. Oil and sugar. What else?
What do you mean?
What's in there?
Just oil and sugar.
Just oil and sugar.
This together because you see how it doesn't really want to combine. So
what do? You gotta force it.
Stir.
You gotta brute force it.
Yeah, kinda. But you can't go too fast or it'll start like flying all over the place.
Julian Hubbard had a Ninja Turtle cake as a kid. Michelangelo.
All right.
Those were great. When you could have a character cake as a kid, I mean, you knew your mother loved you when you got a character cake.
That was one of
when you didn't, you knew your mother was doing it just because it was obligatory.
That Ninja Turtle cake that pan was the best because you got 4 different characters out of the one pan. All you had to do was change the band on the turtle's eyes.
Shannon Rowley points out that she wanted the slime pit Skeletor because she thought it was cool.
I have the slime pit downstairs.
But her mother, pardon me, but her mother wouldn't let her have it because it was gross.
Right. Oh no, the slime pit and the fun zone were different.
But which exactly was the point, that it was gross. I'm not going to comment how you said you have a slime pit downstairs.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now
all right,
now goes in.
What goes in?
The buttermilk.
Okay, the fake buttermilk.
The fake buttermilk. We mix that up in with the eggs and our sugar and our oil.
There we go. Exciting. Because remember, you never know when one of these little beaters could fly off and take out someone's eye.
Let's not talk about that. There's plenty of mishaps to go on. This is a multi-step process.
Jeff Bentley says his first time baking a cake in university, he accidentally used baking soda instead of flour, and he made his roommates very ill.
Not baking soda instead of baking powder, baking soda instead of flour?
Instead of flour.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so were his roommates.
Whoa.
All right. Okay, what's next?
Now we're doing the vanilla.
Why is vanilla brown?
Well,
I've never understood this.
Bean.
Okay, vanilla is supposed to be white. Everything vanilla is white. You go to get a vanilla ice cream cone, it's white or off-white. Why is vanilla brown? This makes no sense.
No.
There's something fraudulent about vanilla. Vanilla should be white.
Vanilla ice cream is not white. It is an off-white.
Yeah, but it's not brown like vanilla in the container. Like, you don't go to get chocolate and it winds up being like clear. Chocolate is brown,
have you ever had,
and vanilla should be white.
Have you ever just had like ice cream without the vanilla?
Have you ever had ice cream without vanilla?
Yeah, like just the sweet cream ice cream.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It tastes very good.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was
all right,
really weird.
I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, so now where are we on now? Where are we next?
Now I put the food coloring in, and this is when things get really messy. And I don't recommend you wear clothes you want to keep after this, because you get this on your clothes, you're in trouble. But it looks pretty cool and it mixes up.
You're making it sound like they're mucking out a horse stall.
Well, it is kind of like this stuff's radioactive.
Oh. Swagman says last night he had a dream he was swimming in an ocean of orange soda. Turns out it was just a fantasy. Da 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 da.
Why do you keep starting off the Mario theme?
I don't know. I'm in a Mario theme mood tonight.
You're going for da 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 da, not da 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 da.
No, I'm going for the latter.
Da 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 da.
Okay, here we go. Look, it looks like blood. It's blood. It's turned to blood. It's like the 10 Commandments when the sea turned to blood.
If you're bleeding this color, seek help.
All right.
Hello, Scouty. Oh, now I gotta make my coffee.
You have to make your coffee?
Yeah.
Now, is this for you, or is this for the cake?
No, this is going in the cake. You'll see.
That's what I forgot. You drink booze when you cook, not coffee.
Yeah, you can't really do that with this. You could drink like a rum or a scotch while you're doing this.
She's a redhead. They drink all the time, but they never get drunk. All right. Here we go.
And
what did you just put in there? Don't just throw shit in there.
The vinegar, the vinegar that's not part of the buttermilk substitute.
All right.
This is actually a really important ingredient to make red velvet cake taste right. I forgot when I was practicing earlier in the week, and it tasted really funny.
Wait, was that the cake you had me test out?
Yeah, well, one of them.
You gave me one that you knew was faulty?
I told you I missed
That
an
it was
ingredient.
defective?
I told you I missed an ingredient in it.
You didn't tell me what it was. I figured if you're going to give me something to test, it's at least palatable.
I thought it tasted fine, so...
Well, okay, that it did. Nonetheless, now I discover that you gave me something that had a factory default. All right. Now here comes the coffee.
Yeah, see, I made espresso so that it only gives you about a half cup as it is.
Now, why coffee goes into this cake is...
Oh, it gives it it gives you the southern kick. Like, a person who lived in the South...
What the fuck is a southern kick?
Oh, if you want to get a southerner...
Is that like the Cotton Eye Joe? The southern kick?
Kinda. But red velvet is a southern thing, right? Southern U.S. thing.
All right.
And if you don't put the coffee in your red velvet cake, it's the same thing as a vinegar. It's just a chocolate cake.
Shannon Rowley says red rum, and Shane Cohen he says he lived in the South.
Yeah, see, there you go. Red velvet cake is serious business, Shane can tell you.
All right.
So...
Is that like the Song of the South with Uncle Remus?
Oh, let's not go there.
That was a great movie, Song of the South with Uncle Remus. I saw that when I was a kid with Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear. What?
Touch it, cup.
Okay, good. And I saw it as a kid, and I had no idea that there was like all this racist stuff.
Sorry, I just tripped over a cat. You just offended.
What hell am I in tonight?
You wanted stuff to go wrong. Something just went wrong.
Yeah, but I don't need you. I'm not calling 911.
You just offended Scout. He's mostly black, so I think your Song of the South stuff.
I don't know. Uncle Remus just seemed like this kindly man. He seemed very positive,
kind of the point.
very happy.
Magical Negro stereotype.
Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. My oh my, what a wonderful day.
We're so gonna get in trouble.
Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity doo. Why are we gonna get in trouble for this?
Yeah, well,
Is zippity doo dah racist now too?
Well, some people consider anything involving the Song of the South.
Everything's racist these days. It's ridiculous. Everything's racist. Zippity doo dah is not a song about race.
You just don't go near Song of the South, which is too bad because I really liked Brer Rabbit as a kid.
Don't throw me in the briar patch,
Yeah.
Brer Bear. All right. Shannon Rowley says she's actually never had red velvet. Why don't we send it to her in Vermont? You think it'll make it there freshly? Is that a term, freshly?
I have to bring it. Vermont's very nice, though. It's a good excuse to go to Vermont.
All right, so what are we doing now?
I'm mixing the dry ingredients in. And you gotta do this a bit at a time so it doesn't, like, blob.
Last time I was in Vermont, I actually, Shannon Rowley helped with this, I actually got to see the inn that they used as the exteriors on Newhart.
What is it, Logan?
It was like some kind of religious experience.
No, okay.
It was awesome. You go in and it's like, now the inside doesn't look anything like it looked in Newhart, but the outside looks like exactly like Newhart.
Well, that was
waiting for
the interior for Newhart.
And the weird thing is they actually have Larry, Daryl, and Daryl there. They've been stuffed and mounted. It was really eerie. Okay.
Don't tell people lies.
Okay, there we go. It wasn't a lie.
It was White House press room.
It was an illusion. It was hyperbole. Okay, now you're mixing the ingredients.
Yeah, and making sure my dog doesn't pee on something because I ignored him. Okay, Scout's bugging him.
Swebman wants to know, what do you call 100 rabbits walking backwards, Liana?
A hairline?
A receding hairline.
Oh, okay, I was close.
Nice, very good.
I'm starting to think like the swag.
Okay.
I'm becoming one with the swag.
So now are all the ingredients in here now?
No, still doing a little bit. You got to do a bit at a time because you don't want to overwork this batter. If you overblend it, it kind of gets a bit yuck.
Batter up. How do you know when it's yuck and not yuck?
Well, you kind of get a feel for it. This recipe isn't joking when, it's just blended. It just gets a bit, I don't know, the consistency gets a bit off if you overdo it.
There we go. Fascinating. All right. So once again,
sarcasm.
Opening it up to you out there in the chat.
You're the one that wanted to do this in one night.
Well, you don't do cooking in parts.
Well, cake decorating.
This isn't like Infinity War where you have two parts.
Well, I think it kind of is. I mean, this is going to be long.
Really? It's going to be a long process?
Yeah.
I should have brought a hammock. Has anybody ever actually sat in a hammock?
Yeah.
Hammocks are not comfortable. Gilligan's Island lied.
Well, it's
okay?
all like the breeze.
Hammocks are not comfortable. Getting into them isn't easy. And then when you're in them, you're always afraid you're going to fall out of them. Hammocks are not actually really... they make it seem like that's the life. Laying back in a hammock. You try to reach for a beer, you'll spin yourself right out of it.
You're scared of funny things, Ed.
Hammocks are not... Don't believe the propaganda. Hammocks are not actually good. All right, what next?
Now we're greasing and flouring the baking pan. And this is very important. You cannot substitute cooking spray for this. It does not work. Learn from my mistakes.
All right,
Try
greasing.
to be like lazy and like turbocharge it.
Now that would be because if you don't grease it properly, then the facial features will get all mucked up.
It sticks to the pan, so you really want to like... We're lubing up the pan here. We're lubing up He-Man.
Yeah, speaking of lubing up He-Man, I found an article on the sci-fi.com website from January of this year,
Hell of a segue.
where they talked about He-Man being the gayest cartoon of all time.
It's pretty gay. It's
I don't know.
A bunch of guys in furry shorts and no shirts and very few women around.
Yeah, well, they talked about the fact that in the intro it says that He-Man got fabulous powers, and like straight heroes, nothing's ever fabulous. You get superhuman, wondrous, magical, nothing fabulous. Only gay is fabulous.
Things back in the day.
Gay became fabulous became a gay word. I'm not exactly sure when. But anyway, and also they point out that Prince Adam wears like lavender and pink. But honestly, how do you know the color signifiers are the same over there in Eternia?
Yeah, well, I mean, his sister wears the same colors and nobody gave her a hard time.
Why did the picture go to jail? It was framed. Swegman, you're dragging the bottom of the barrel.
Bo on
She-Ra?
gayer than any He-Man character.
Okay, watch this.
Like, he was just their friend.
Watch this, okay?
What are you doing?
Hey, Liana, what did you think of She-Ra?
Hated She-Ra.
Tell me why.
She-Ra's bullshit. It was boring. Tell me something that happened ever in an episode of She-Ra. They stood around in the trees and had really long hair. That's all that happened. Nothing. Hordak was awesome. But She-Ra as a whole, the cartoon, was freaking boring. And it was supposed to be this thing for girls, so everybody thought I would like She-Ra, but I didn't like She-Ra. I liked He-Man, and everybody treated me like some kind of freak, because I just recognized the superior cartoon stylings of He-Man, but because I was a girl. No, I'm supposed to like She-Ra. Fuck that.
So to summarize, Liana didn't like She-Ra. She liked He-Man.
Freaking sucked.
So did people buy you She-Ra toys?
The one She-Ra toy I ever owned, my sister had some She-Ra toys. But I had a Starburst Swiftwind, which was okay because it was like see-through. Now, if I were to design Starburst Swiftwind, I was like, where are the organs? Are the organs see-through too? Why is it a see-through horse and we can't see the organs? But I thought it was kind of cool, but never as cool. No horse can be as cool, even the ones with wings, as like a giant freaking cat you can ride and that talked. Cringer/Battle Cat was the best.
Interesting note, if you watch a TV show called The Toys That Made Us, you know where Battle Cat came from, folks? Battle Cat was actually a cat from a Big Jim playset.
That they just...
A Big Jim Jungle Attack playset that they just repurposed because they needed something extra to make it cool. So it actually was not made for He-Man. And I think the body of He-Man was made for like a Conan series or something that never happened.
There were only like 4 different chests in He-Man, and they just interchanged them for the different characters. He-Man was cool just partially because of how cynical the whole thing was. Okay, so we have the greased and floured pan.
You gotta grease up the He-Man.
Yeah. Now the other...
Grease him up.
The other important thing, as you keep knocking me out of the way so I can't work, is you've got to not overfill this sucker when you're creating it.
What are you saying?
What?
What are you talking about?
When you pour the batter into the pan.
After you've greased up He-Man?
Yeah, after you've greased up He-Man. Ed, don't do that!
You're just catching on now.
It's about baking.
Been doing it over and over.
It's not about whatever weird sexual thing you're going on about now. So...
Martin Kipp says that it was weird how Hordak and his henchmen came with He-Man toys and not She-Ra.
Yeah, because Hordak was originally a He-Man character. But Hordak was awesome.
And he got deported
really
to She-Ra.
Cool design. Yeah, he got it deported to Etheria. Which was kind of a cool name, like Eternia and Etheria. Because that was, I believe that was the Christmas special, where they introduced He-Man's sister, and she lived somewhere else, and that's why she wasn't around.
Because it makes sense that there would be Christmas on Eternia. Because Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
That Jesus guy gets many places.
Jeff Bentley says he thinks He-Man was the last Filmation cartoon.
It was definitely a very successful one.
It was,
the last one.
Yeah, and they also made Fat Albert.
Yep.
With Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Here's the thing.
Anything Cosby related.
Here's the thing. I hated Bill Cosby even as a child, because here I am watching the Fat Albert guys, and this guy, this live-action guy pops in and starts talking at me. Get the hell out of there, live-action guy. I'm here to watch frickin' cartoons. It's Saturday morning. Why do I need this guy sticking his face in the cartoon, telling me what's going on? I already know what's going on. I hated it. Get out of there. It was like always wasted time. It was time to go to the bathroom or something. Hey, I didn't even know who the hell Bill Cosby was. All I knew was there was this guy who was taking up time that should have been spent on cartoons. So I hated him even then.
Bill Cosby makes me sad.
All right, next.
Now I'm singing the Picture Pages theme song like a funeral dirge.
In your head, anyway.
Yeah, freaking sad, man. Don't like talking about Cosby.
Swagman said glass coffins will be the next big thing. You know why, Liana?
Something about, I don't know.
Remains to be seen.
Okay, that's a good one.
You like that one?
Yeah,
okay, Swagman, you get points on that one.
I kind of knew where it was going, but I didn't.
All right. Okay, now what are you doing?
Okay, so now I make a little, like, if it's for a really young kid, you can make something called a smash cake, which I really like, because the whole point of it is, you know what a kid's, like a 2-year-old's going to do with a cake anyway, right? It's like, smash, 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 smash. So you make the, like... Not
kids that are well-behaved. Where the hell did you grow up? In a zoo?
The hood.
Okay.
Like, you give the kid a cake to smash, and that's why it's called the smash cake. So you make it for the little guy, and they go smash, 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 and the other cake is okay now. And I forgot to preheat the oven, because you always throw me off. So we're going to delay that a bit, which doesn't matter. This goes in the oven eventually at 325 degrees. Fortunately, I keep my cakes numbered for just such an occasion. And
Shane Cohen says Mexicans have birthday smash cakes. I don't know if that's a joke or serious.
Well, why'd you repeat it?
Because I'm now wondering for the people out there, is it real? Shane, is that sort of like a piñata joke? Also, Kimberly said she likes your cookie jars there, Liana, and it wasn't a euphemism.
And my robot, yeah. I like my ugly. You knocked me out of the way again.
Well, you were in the way. I had to get a shot of these cookie jars.
Okay, so I pre-made a cake.
All right.
Because we weren't going to sit here for 40 minutes waiting for it to cook. 40 minutes is you don't want to overcook the cake, but undercooking it is pretty nasty. So
all right.
There's the finished product.
That's what it looks like after you
after you bake it.
Okay, let's take a look at the detail. You see
it gives you the lines.
The unique ridges and stuff that form the face and the flowing hair of He-Man. There's his chest thingy, whatever you call that, harness thing.
Yeah.
And there's his sword, which is very phallic, which makes sense since you greased him up to make it. All right, and then what?
Should I make the icing now, or do you want to save some time?
Let's save some time.
All right, because it's pre-made icing.
Yeah, good. Pre-made icing's a good thing. Nobody gives a shit how icing is made. You just want to eat it. All right?
We'll do icing.
Shane Cohen thinks it looks like Fabio. Let's go down there.
Yeah.
Does this look like Fabio?
It's kind of Fabio.
I don't know. If He-Man got hit in the face with a bird on a roller coaster, I don't think he'd whine about it like Fabio.
That would be the sorceress.
All right, so there it is, the He-Man cake. And you're going to now put icing on it, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to show you a bit of the decorating, but it'll take too long, and I know you have no attention span, and I don't want to get knocked over like 3 more times, so...
What about 2 more times? Is that okay?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to do it.
All right, keep at it.
Invading my personal space, man. That gets you kicked out of the NDP.
You have no personal space. We're shooting in a kitchen. No personal space.
I make He-Man's skin because he's bronze, you know.
Like a god?
Like a god.
He's bronzed like a god?
And the problem with...
Got greased up, too.
He's bronzed. He's quite tanned.
Shannon wants me to show the... Oh, what? Here, show that.
So he's quite tanned.
She wants the light. That's not tanned.
He's tanned.
He looks
compared to me.
Okay, compared to you, everybody's tanned.
He's pretty tanned.
Okay? Compared to you, a sheet of white paper is tanned.
Well, this is true.
All right.
But
Shannon wants to see it with the light on, with more light.
with more light, okay.
Okay, so there is He-Man with more light. You see that better, Shannon? There you go.
So what I do, because if you try to mix brown with regular like icing colors, it takes a really long time, and you risk getting like a Donald Trump style skin tone. So I just add cocoa powder to the icing.
Okay.
And make chocolate icing. So,
by the way, Jeff Bentley says bronzed like George Vintage Hamilton. George Hamilton is now doing, there we go, a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial satirizing himself, which is amazing because I was pretty sure he was dead. I'm not convinced he isn't. All right, here we go. What's going on?
I was going to talk about red velvet cake using cream cheese icing, but I can't get a word in edgewise, so...
Why does red velvet cake use cream cheese icing?
It's just a proper red velvet cake. You do cream cheese icing, and it's the exact same recipe as buttercream icing, only instead of putting in butter, you put in cream cheese.
And what are you doing now?
I'm putting the icing into the... I wanted bags, but I couldn't find it, so I use this old-style icer thing.
What you're doing there is, have you ever had to give a sample?
Ed?
If you're being checked for parasites or something?
Just keep going back
it's
there.
Very much like that.
That actually made me feel kind of vomitous.
Oh, good.
Thanks so much.
Now I know I've achieved something today.
Oh, God. It's chocolate.
All right.
Now who's going to eat this?
Anybody. I'll eat it.
Nobody.
I'll eat it.
You'll eat it after thinking it's fecal collection?
Well, because I know it's not. You know what I read in the paper? Well, sort of online paper? That...
The online paper?
That, you know those hot air hand dryers in bathrooms?
Yep.
They apparently suck in fecal matter...
I sent you that article.
...and spray it back out on your hands.
Yep.
Isn't that awesome? Hot air hand dryers, yeah, they're better for the environment if you like shit particles on your hands.
Not necessarily better for the environment either.
Here's the thing with hot air hand dryers that drives me crazy. You go into a bathroom, maybe it's a really hot day, you want to throw some cold water on your face, you have nothing to dry your face with because they took away any like paper towel. You can't even put your face, usually for most of these hot air hand dryers, you can't even put your face to them because they're permanently aimed down. Yeah, so unless you want to try and do a limbo or something to get and then someone walks in and sees you look fucking ridiculous. And you can't use toilet paper to sort of dab your face dry because then it sticks in little pieces. Wait, what are you doing now?
I'm putting the oven preheated now, so I'm putting the cakes in.
Is that the one which one are you decorating though?
This one here.
Okay, good.
You were rambling, so...
I wasn't rambling.
Okay, now, this is kind of important.
Okay.
So you have to shut up for a few minutes.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be quiet as long as I can.
So, we're going to do the old school, like, floret decorating thing. This is actually a pretty complicated mold. There are easier ones. The, like, dinosaur and pony they have for generic boy and generic girl now are a lot easier than this. But I don't know if you can see what I'm doing on camera. But you basically hold it against and then lift up at the end. And that's what gives you the... Now they're coming out better because I'm less jammed up. But like that. And this does take some practice. It is kind of muscle memory.
Can I talk yet?
I'm enjoying the quiet.
We haven't said anything that interesting, and I've been waiting.
What do you mean? I've been showing people how to do fancy old school...
Okay, well, here, move your... Let me zoom in a little bit. And you show, like, let's see the tip. Let's see what you're talking about.
See?
Hold on, there's the tip.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a flower thing, and they come in different sizes.
I'm not going to tell you what that star looks like. Okay, anyway. So now, your hand is in the way. Your left hand's in the way. We can't really see. So what do you do now? You push it down and away from you?
That's what I was saying before, but you weren't paying attention.
You push it down. Well, I was waiting to see when I could talk. You push it down, and away from you is the best way to do it. How do you know not to put too much pressure and all that shit comes out?
It's actually harder with the bags. Sometimes you can go bloop or get like an air bubble. That's why it's good to really make sure your icing's blended so you don't get the air bubbles.
All right.
But if you notice, I'm kind of going along the lines of the mold so I can see where like his bicep is later. And then we kind of got his...
There we go. This is almost like watching a Bob Ross special, except you're like, this is like cake decorating painting.
A what?
Bob Ross, the guy with the big fro from PBS, the painting show that he did.
How many years ago is this?
Guy, he's eternal. Get with it. All right?
That didn't answer my question.
Maybe 40. All right.
40 years ago.
And so this is what happens. You continue to until you've got the whole thing frosted.
Yeah. And that's what I showed you before. Should I get
Yeah, get the finished product.
I want to see how you do hair.
All right, show me how you do hair.
Well, I have to...
Amy St. John makes macaroons for a living.
What?
There's a living in that? Where do you make macaroons for a living?
Fresh macaroons are pretty...
Where do you live, Amy St. John, that you make macaroons for a living?
Tip. It's just bigger for macaroons.
Swagman wants to know what the beach say as the tide came in. Long time no see. Oh. Swag, are you getting these from a book or are you making these up?
I think they're in his head.
I don't know, because nobody should have that many puns in their head.
Those science fiction shows where all of a sudden the character gets like this hidden knowledge in their brain?
Yeah, that was the Kurt Russell movie, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Yeah, that's like Swagman and dad jokes.
Oh, Amy St. John's only in Brampton. It's not very far away where she makes macaroons.
How many different kinds of macaroons does she make?
How many different kinds of macaroons do you make there, Amy St. John? How many kinds of macaroons can there be? There's just macaroons.
There's chocolate, there's regular coconut ones, there's ones with like lime, there's little pink ones. There's lots of different kinds of macaroons.
All right, whatever.
It's the same process, though, just bigger to make macaroons.
Oh, by the way, Swagman is now farming out the puns to his family.
Oh?
Yeah. He's now got his kids. I think there's some kind of child labor law against having your kids make puns, but he's doing it. Carly Swagman, take a bow, young lady, and then run the hell away. Run. Don't embrace this. Run. You can still get far enough away. Start a new life with a new identity.
Biggest runner of puns?
All right.
Okay.
So, now you're going to do hair?
Now I'm going to do hair.
Now, is there a special technique to hair or just another color?
That's why it's kind of neat to show it's a slightly different, using the exact same tip, but it's hair instead of the... This is usually more for fur. If this makes sense, so He-Man's now a furry.
Hello, Tracy Burgart. How you doing, Tracy? Where are you from, Tracy? Let us know where you're from. And do you make macaroons? This is now a question I'm going to ask everybody.
If a macaroon person is just in Mississauga, we should go out there.
Brampton. Well, you want to go out there? Maybe. Hey, can we come out and cook macaroons with you, Amy St. John, for a show? We come out to your place and cook macaroons. What do you think? Well, you don't cook them. I guess you bake them. Let us know. All right.
So now I'm just running.
Wait a second. Hold on. Hold the presses here. Amy St. John, on average, makes 18 flavors a day.
Told ya.
But they have 30 different flavors of macaroons.
See?
How is this humanly possible?
Told you there were lots of flavors of macaroons.
Tracy's from Calgary. She doesn't make macaroons. Actually, I don't think you can eat macaroons in Calgary. They're far too ethnic. Okay. Now what?
You can get pierogies all over the place in Calgary.
So now what are you doing? You're cleaning something?
I'm cleaning my tool.
Sometimes I'm very, very immature, but I don't mind. All right?
I got you off the shit jokes for 5 seconds. All right, I need another spoon. Okay, so we're going to fill up the...
there's a viewer who thinks you should go into business making these cakes, and I could do the voiceover like that gravelly guy from Carvel. Remember Cookie Puss?
Yeah.
Remember Cookie Puss?
No.
No?
No.
You don't remember Cookie Puss?
No.
Cookie Puss was this amazing ice cream cake. I remember it for a time Carvel was in Canada, and for one birthday I got a Carvel ice cream cake, and I'm lactose intolerant, but I didn't care because it was so amazing. I paid for it later, but it was worth it because I finally in my life actually had a Carvel ice cream cake. And I'm pretty sure that guy with the voice from Carvel, I'm pretty sure he always had throat cancer. All right. Fudgy the Whale, James Rossiter. He knows. What are we doing now?
Fudgy the what? Who?
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm putting the... There we go. You got to start it up a bit. You don't want to squeeze it. It's very important not to cross-contaminate your colors. But see the kind of swoop of He-Man's hair?
I will try to look and see
I'm going to
that.
move him kind of sideways now because I'm not used to doing
Turn
this
up
for
the light,
camera.
okay.
But,
yeah, all right. So there's the swoop of his hair.
To do He-Man's hair, you sort of start down here and you
Yeah.
just go whoop.
Okay.
Get in there.
Why do you start at the bottom?
I just find it's easier to, because I'm right-handed, to get in closer and actually layer the hair, because then you want to get the part. And then He-Man. There.
There you
You
go.
got to do like a little 70s flip there.
Little Farrah Fawcett action.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how you do the hair. Which is pretty. And the shield's the same way. You just, I just do it slap.
We waited all this time for that?
And you,
Talk about...
you can either do slap. I did the
disappointed.
shield, freehanded it.
Yeah,
you do it the same way. I just did. And the sword's the same way too. I just ran sort of the grain. I guess
All right.
you can do the belt this way too.
Can we see the finished product again?
You want to see the finished cake again?
Yeah.
It's not so good. I know I could do better. I haven't wanted to.
All right, okay. Here's a classic segment. Here's a classic. This may be one of the best ever. Why do cows have hooves instead of feet, Liana?
I don't know.
Because they lactose.
I don't get it.
Lactose. Milk?
But
They lactose. Lactose.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the pun part of it. It's just objectively true that cows lactose. Okay, so here's the finished
When
product.
she gets into the cooking, sometimes she loses her sense of humor.
Here's the finished
All right,
product.
okay, what do we got there?
There we go. So,
He-Man.
hey man.
Now, all this work you put into it, hours of work that you put into it, do you feel bad when people cut into it and start eating it?
I actually have a problem eating things that look like things.
What about things that look like He-Man?
There's this really adorable teddy bear mold that I was going to get, and then I realized I will never be able to eat that because it is too cute, and cutting into it will kill me.
But does it bother you that people are just going to cut this up
no,
and
this is
eat
what
it?
it's for.
And then it's going to become fecal matter and go into a hand dryer?
You're back on that again, aren't
Wait,
you?
don't go away. Where are you going with
I want to get away from you talking about shit.
it? Okay, I won't talk about that.
All right.
It's a nice job you did here. How long would it take you to actually do all that icing?
Well, you see how 40 minutes, maybe, if I'm being really careful.
40 minutes?
Yeah,
And if you're being
25 if I'm not.
Okay.
This was a 25-minute job. I was just like, screw it, get it done.
Well, it looks good.
Yeah,
it just
but
seems like a shame you do all this
I ran
artwork.
out of chocolate icing right there.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah.
It just seems like a ways you do all this artwork. I think that you should take the cake and put it under glass and then never eat it.
It's a little possessive, Ed.
Well, it's art. You've just made art. You want to destroy your art? You've gone to all 40 minutes?
Well, I've been working with you for years. I have very low self-esteem, so you destroy everything I touch anyway.
Well, on that note, by the way, I need a brush. It's very staticky out. My hair is ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Okay. If Martin Kipp wants to know if you made a Manny Faces cake, which face would you use?
The scariest one.
The scariest one?
Yeah, the most monster one.
Okay, here it is. I promised I'd save it for the end of the show. My favorite He-Man toy was Stinkor.
But-
Let's pretend that Liana didn't ruin it earlier.
Did you like Moss Man?
I liked Moss Man. I don't know why. There was something odd about Moss
It
Man.
was cool. Like,
I liked it. He had good texture.
an obvious
All right.
rip-off, an obvious reuse of Beastman, but...
He was his brother.
Cool.
Have you never? They were family. Don't you know the Beastmans and the Mossmans?
Yeah.
They're family.
Beastman?
Yeah.
Steindl Beastman?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Liana, will we put the recipe up on my Facebook page?
Well, you have it, so...
All right.
I can't put anything up on your
The recipe will go up for the He-Man cake. A fine job you did. And Adam Hodgins out in Newmarket is going to be the lucky recipient because Liana had to make 3 cakes to show the various stages of how to make this. Adam Hodges in Newmarket is going to be getting... How many cakes is he getting tomorrow?
At least 2.
At least 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to eat all this cake.
And Swegman is a closing. Ed, why doesn't the sun go to college? Because it has 1,000,000 degrees. All right. On that note, thank you, Liana. Liana, you can be fat. Why isn't this focusing on me? Maybe I'll move here. Is it focusing better? No. What the hell? There you go. Liana can be found at Red Liana K, and her YouTube channel is Liana K. I'm at Ed the Sock, and you know where my Facebook page is because you're on it now. All right. We'll see you potentially next week with some new great delicacy.
Potentially next week?
Well, one never knows.
I thought of doing peach cobbler next week.
Peach cobbler?
Yeah.
All right, next week.
How do you feel about that?
Peach cobbler. All right.
You gonna make me lose my will to live over that one too?
Rain Valentine wants a cake. All right, next week, peach cobbler. Until then, I'm Ed the Sock. That's Liana K. Thank you for joining us for the cooking show for people who hate cooking shows. All right. Do I get some of that cake too, or is it all for Adam?
You were a jerk.